No, it's fine, really. I mean, I guess it was kinda bad this time around. I... I didn't mean to hurt myself like this. Apologies, miss. I just don't have quite the proper control over my magic yet. I swear, the gods cursed me with overbearing strength. I mean, I suppose it isn't too bad, having such strength. You're right, Miss Tilly. I'll just keep on practicing. I've got to learn how to gain control over it all. I'll be strong, just like Papa once was. Nothing will be able to beat me once I've got this down. I don't think I'll be able to lose. Yes. I know I've got to master the basics of each first, but hey, at least I have light magic down. But I do need to focus on fire magic, since it is my strongest element. Clearly. I just need to know how to manipulate it properly is all. I've just got to practice. You know, Auntie has been ragging at me constantly for getting hurt like this. She says that the bandages are unsightly. I suppose this wasn't her idea of raising a young lady. This place is just so different compared to my old home. When I was still living with Papa, he never forced me to do any of this stuff. And, well, I suppose you're right. It isn't all too bad. It's nice sometimes. The formality and the ladylike things. Although that does remind me, Miss Matilda intends on trapping me later on for another dress fitting. So, I best be off into hiding for a bit before I finally succumb. I shall see you next week for our lesson. Good day, miss. A quick stroll by the lake will do me well, I think. A little stretch didn't hurt anyone. After that lesson, I'm a bit tired. I could just fall asleep here by the edge of the water. Or maybe hidden in a bush if I really wanted to. So no one could find me. But it would be best if I do not. I might sleep for a lot longer than I intend to. There is so much to do in preparation for my debut into society. My feet hurt thinking about all the dance lessons I must take. Well, at least I have the small moment to be alone. Perhaps I shall simply watch the ducks swim by for a little while, and just clear my mind of these things. Maybe take a short walk around the perimeter. Oh, that sounds good to me. What a nice breeze. What? Huh? What was that? Odd. Perhaps some wild animal? Hello? Must just be my imagination? Alright then. Suppose I can continue on my walk. What in God's... Huh? What is this? A bag? What in Morena's name is this doing out here? What is this emblem? A book? Why... This is like the one's father once had. Why would a... Hello? Ugh, why would anyone answer me anyhow? Tracks. They lead up here. Seems like they were in a hurry by the looks of things. Gods! Hey! Hey! He's out cold. His breathing is so shallow. There's so much blood. Oh, please let me be useful for once. All right. Okay. That seems to have healed it. Okay. Gods, what happened to you? All right, let's bring you in quickly. Hang on tight. You're awake. Oh, thank the gods. No, don't get up. No, calm yourself. Settle down. You are safe. I know you must be horribly frightened, but you are okay. I swear it on my name. You are fine. It's okay. You've been unconscious for the past few days. I'm glad you have woken up so soon. The doctor said it would take a long while. I'm truly glad that this isn't the case. Wait, I should go and call the doctor. Get some tests done on you now that you're awake. Don't worry. Like I said, you're in capable hands. Just stay still, all right? Give me one moment. Well, I hope that everything went all right. You seem to be okay. Still rather sickly in color, though. Well, a few more days of bed rest. Good food and some medicine will certainly do you well. Though you will need help getting around. Your legs are not in the best of conditions. How are you feeling, by the way? Other than the physical ailments, now that you've finally awoken. Well, obviously you wouldn't want to be bounding down the hall in glee full of energy now, would you? But I do hope that you are a bit calmer now, perhaps. I know that this must all be strange. I've forgotten. I must introduce myself. Of course. Auntie would have a fit knowing I haven't given a proper introduction to you yet. So, please, pay no heed to my forgetfulness. My name is Eaera Elaysia, the only daughter of Lord Val and Lady Milia. I welcome you to the ducal estate of Elaysia, owned by the generous Duke Pod, who is my uncle. Perhaps I should explain a little to you. Well, I was off on a small excursion when I found you with little consciousness, bleeding out near the lake on a property. As soon as I saw your state, I rushed you inside. My uncle, saw to it that you were properly taken care of. In fact, it seemed as if my auntie and uncle seemed to possibly recognize you. I would take it that you are of noble origins. I am not quite knowledgeable on the noble houses. And, well, they did not tell me who you were or could be. Well, actually, do you remember who you are? A name, perhaps. I see. Well, that is fine. Though rather unfortunate. Actually, well, I surmise that perhaps you were not from a happy home. Or perhaps you were in some sort of danger. Well, it seemed silly, but I deduced it from your bag. Well, while you were asleep, I looked a bit at the contents, and simply based on, well, the random assortment of items, perhaps you had little time to pack, or you were in a rush. You seem to have chosen quite a few personally valuable items instead of essential things for travel. So, if things were not well, I am truly sorry. But do not fret now. You are safe and in capable hands. In fact, I've been watching you for the past few days. Whenever I'm free, I tend to visit you. Well, to check on your state. It worried me a bit. And after all, since I found you, I found it necessary for my own peace of mind that you were doing well. I'm just glad that you are all right. Actually, are you hungry at all? You seem to not have eaten much in a long while. You were so light when I carried you inside, it was hardly any work at all. The doctor said that you may have been malnourished. But it is best if you do not eat too much at once. You'll need to slowly rebuild your strength. A small meal should do, though. Give me one moment. Serenity, could you go to the kitchen for me and ask Wes to make Mama's recipe? Make sure to pick up a light snack for yourself as well, alright? Thank you. No, I'm fine. Huh? No, I'm okay. Yeah, thank you again. Now be off. Well, anyway, back to the conversation at hand. I'm quite curious about something. Well, within the bag. Well, within that bag of yours, you had a few books. They're rather fancy ones. Papa had ones just like it in our old library. Miss Tilly, the governess of this estate, uses one similar to teach me about magic. Tomes of ancient and old, the silly things. I used to hate reading the things. Theories and willpower and, well, now they're a great ally to me. So, I take it that you must study magic as well. I knew it. So then, are you any good at magic? Well, I'm pretty rubbish at the moment. At much of the elements, if I'm to be honest. Well, it's not as if I can't conjure magic at all. It has to do more with control and the manipulation aspect of it. See the bandages? I resonate with fire most of all, and my aptitude for it is simply too strong. I burn myself even when I try my best not to. It's really not much of a brag when you're too powerful with no skills. Don't tease me. No, I am glad that you even have the energy to do so. Perhaps you're getting better already. Anyway, I just wish I could be a tad weaker. Just so I could, well, it'd be easier to control, I'd suppose. In fact, Miss Tilly warns me that I need to keep my emotions in check, for if I go overboard and let them take over, well, I could probably incinerate the entire estate to ashes if I really willed it. But, that is not a threat. That is just what I might be capable of, is all. I know not to do that, obviously. What do you take me for? I'm not a complete fool. Though, apart from my aptitude for fire, I have much higher skill with light magic. I can heal others properly, I think. Just my connection to the element isn't as strong as all. Well, actually, I healed you when I did find you. Only enough to delay you from stepping through death's door anyhow. You seem to have quite the collection of wounds, including a big one on the back of your head. It looked like you seemed to hit it on something? I don't know. Perhaps a rock? There was a storm the day before, so perhaps you slipped and hurt yourself like that? And, well, also, I suppose in my panic, I did not heal you as properly as I could, so you have a bit of a scar back there. Apologies. I hope it will heal over time. Well, it's not okay, though. I feel rather bad about it. Well, if you really don't mind. But still. Speaking of scars, you must practice a lot? Looking at your hands, I can see the drawback damage on you. Yeah. Your hand, if I may? They are a bit rough like my own. Your hands are a bit dry from constantly practicing earth and fire magic, and this is a scar from a water burn? Well, am I wrong? Well, I'm quite the observant girl. In fact, you must read those books quite a ton as well. You're midway through the Blue Book, and, well, that's the 3rd volume. And the corners have already been folded in several areas. And you also seem to have a few paper cuts. Though they've healed, they're rather present still. But keeping that in mind, do be more careful when you're handling your books. A quick question for you. What elements do you wield in particular then, book boy? Truly. Well, that's rather remarkable. All but light. Seems that you're the exact opposite of me. I can wield all but dark. Perhaps one day we may be able to wield these elements. Oh, do you study combat then? You do have quite the calluses. They're in the same areas as mine. I'm rather fond of sword fighting myself. I'm actually better at wielding a weapon over elemental magic, but I've got to study both. Actually, well, not to brag, but I've been told that I'm quite talented. And, well, I do hope that this isn't mere flattery, but my teacher tells me that I might even be better than my brother. Oh, yes, I do have a brother indeed. Just one. My only, well, immediate family left. He's off in the capital with his wife, Eya. He's an Imperial Knight, actually. Just like my father once was. Well, actually, it's my dream to become a knight someday. Just like my brother and Papa. I'll go to the capital and serve someone within the royal family. That's all I want, to continue the family legacy. Are you alright? You seemed rather perturbed. Is something wrong? Oh, Serenity, you're back. Perhaps it's just hunger that overwhelms you? Thank you. Just, give it here. No need. I will do it myself. You may excuse yourself if you'd like. No, please. You've been standing there all day, pacing back and forth. Your brother is sick, is he not? I know you must be worried. Go. Really, go tend to him. It's not much of a break, but if you were tending to him, perhaps it would take your mind off of your worries since you'd be with him. And go to the kitchen and get some of the soup, as well as some other snacks and food for the rest of your family in the living quarters, won't you? I know Auntie won't mind. She cares about you too. I shall call for you later tonight, but only for a short while so you can return to your family. Yes, thank you. Do say hello to them for me. Now, be off. Now, let's have you sit up. Yes? Let me help you. There. Are you feeling steady? Good. Huh? Oh, no. Just let me feed you. I worry you will not have any strength to even lift the spoon. And besides, a little bit of coddling will do you well. It's a chicken and rice soup. Nothing too special. It'll be easy to digest at the very least. Let me just blow on it for you. It can be rather hot. Open up. Careful. How is it? Not bad, right? I think it's pretty tasty even when you're not sick. Now, if you eat a couple more spoonsful of this, you'll be feeling better in no time at all. No. It's no problem at all. It just feels like I'm simply helping a friend, is all. Here. My mama used to make this for me when I was sick too. It's all I can remember about her, really. But hers was a bit better than Wes's, though he's a fantastic cook in his own right. Sorry, just bringing up a silly old memory. Huh? Do you really want to know? Well, my mama, she was a caring woman. I was rather young, but I remember her being the most graceful and beautiful woman I'd ever seen. But I can no longer truly remember what she even looks like anymore. It is a shame, but I have portraits to look back on. Yeah, but even then, is that even what she truly looked like? I'm not sure. They surely hold no comparison to the real thing, though, if anything. I also remember, though, despite being a noble woman, she'd get into that kitchen and cook this up for me and my brother when we were sick, and, well, from the stories I've heard, all the staff argued against it, but she just wanted to cook for us. She was the sweetest woman, according to my father. I wish they were still here now. Oh, right. Well, as you can see, I'm not living with my papa either. Well, my aunt and uncle took me in after my papa died. He was lost to a blight whilst on a mission in the Targathon Gorge. Only a few years ago. No, I'm fine. Well, of course it pains me to think of him, but I really am well, and I have made my peace. I only miss him now. So, what of your own parents, if you can recall anything at all? Nothing? Well, no need to force yourself to remember anything. In the meantime, you will be living with us for a while. Auntie and Uncle welcome you wholeheartedly to this estate, and would gladly offer you a place to stay while you recover. Yes, it is no burden. They are good people, and will never turn away those in need. That is the decree of our patron goddess Elaysia, after all. Mercy and benevolence. Truly, it is fine. You need not worry or feel any sort of guilt. Besides, you are a friend to me now, even in the short time we have come to know one another. You are a kind soul, book boy. Have a little more. How's your stomach feeling now? A bit fuller, perhaps? Well, that's good to hear. I want you to be well. I was thinking, perhaps once you're fully recovered, if you shall be staying at our residence for a while, I would love it if you became my new sparring partner. Yeah, I'm sure of it. I might even best you. I have yet to know your true abilities, but I am pretty good, as Sir Krupp tells me. But again, only when you are fully recovered. It wouldn't be very honorable otherwise, would it, if you weren't in tip-top shape? Anyway, Auntie will be glad to find me a new partner so that my elder cousin no longer has to bear the burden. He is a rather weak fellow who enjoys hitting the books more. But to each their own. I'm not sure why Auntie has him fighting me anyway. He clearly doesn't enjoy it and would be better suited to academia alone. Another spoonful? Suppose your appetite must be getting a little better. My auntie has plenty more complaints about me, though. I'm not... Well, to describe myself, I'm not exactly the most feminine of people. Well, perhaps I may look it, but... personality-wise, perhaps I'm not the most feminine of people. Though my auntie has another daughter, well, she's not quite ready for her debut yet. So, Auntie has been extra excited to doll me up and to prep me for being a proper lady. Again, I do not mind such things, but it does take quite the toll when you do all my other training in combination. Well, the dresses are quite pretty, and, well, dance lessons and proper etiquette are alright as well. But sometimes it does tucker me out more than my actual extensive physical training. But eventually, I suppose, I will be free of all such formalities. Well, as I've mentioned before, my dream is to become a knight, yes? In a few years' time, I will be headed off toward Hargathon for my apprenticeship. My aunt and uncle insisted on placing me in school, but what I really want is to simply be thrust into the action. I will learn and adapt quickly. Well, yes. I can only imagine it will be difficult. But I want to learn from experience, not just staring at mere books. They are important as well, but I want combat experience. I want to protect the border. But, for now, I will continue my studies under Miss Tilly and Sir Krupp till it is my time to leave the estate. Actually, in a few months' time, I will be having my official debut in society. It shall be the largest event in all the Empire, my auntie says. I have, been largely hidden away, so it will be quite the spectacle to finally present myself to the Empire. Oh? Well, my papa was the eldest son, and he had given up the title to my uncle for a simpler life with Mama. Well, I would also be, I think, fifth in line to the household, if my cousins have no children anyhow, and why it might be such a big deal that I'm debuting. But till then, I'll be practicing and practicing till I'm the pinnacle of perfection, which will surely be easy enough. Perhaps by then you shall be in attendance for my debut, if you're not gone already. Oh? Shall you spin me away on the dance floor? Well, perhaps I shall do you that honor. But first, you need to properly heal those broken legs of yours. Well, I can't wait till then to see how you'll impress me with your dances. But if you have found your family by then, please do keep in contact with me. I do enjoy your company. Thus far, anyhow. I do hope that, well, wherever you end up, you will be safe and happy, though. Do you remember at all why you left, or why you had to leave? No? Are you sure? Well, I will take your word for it. Regardless of what happens, please do rest easy for the time being whilst you are in the care of my family. Like I said, it is no trouble whatsoever. We are very glad to have you here with us. I'm glad to have you here with me. Though, that does remind me, I will visit you as often as I can, while you are still bedridden. My schedule is rather flexible, and I should like to keep you company whilst you are here. I will have to leave in a few moments' time, however, for another dress fitting. Oh, well, perhaps I shall show you some of my dresses, so that you may help me decide on what to wear. I'm quite dreadful at it. I suppose you will be of great help to me. Yes. I'm rather glad to have met you. Anyway, in the meantime, before I must leave... More soup? Book boy, are you awake yet? I hope you're decent, 'cause I'll be coming in. Oh, you're actually awake? I thought you were sleeping this entire time. How could you leave me alone and stay in bed all day? This is our one free day from lessons. You even missed breakfast. Well, I was rather lonely without you. You know how I get. Plus, Basil and Boss kept piling mushrooms and tomatoes onto my plate. It was just awful. I had to eat them all. Fine. Just, if you're gonna be hiding away, just tell me at least. But seriously, the sun's nearly touching the Blessed Isles by now. What were you doing hiding away in here? Oh, isn't that the book you picked up the other day from the library? What's this one on? I didn't get a chance to ask you about it before. More on the Imperial family? That must be your favorite subject. No wonder you get along with Mr. Maxim so well. He absolutely adores that subject. Any juicy stories in this one? I remember in the last book there was that crazy story on the first king of Manium. Oh, that does remind me though. I heard a rather interesting rumor from Serenity the other day. You want to hear it? I knew you liked gossip too. Well, Prince Consort Outer of Ladle has mysteriously disappeared. Yeah, he got sent off to the Targathon Gorge a few months ago. Huh? Yeah, maybe a couple of months after you came to our home. Maybe. Anyhow. Apparently, Princess Cyrene paid him a visit, and from what I hear, they were fighting over their children. Their children have been sent to Prince Outer's home in Ladle, after Princess Cyrene practically abandoned them. But all of a sudden, Princess Cyrene wants them in the Imperial Palace again? But anyway, after her visit, poof! Gone! Nowhere to be seen. Some people have said that he ran away, but that doesn't seem right to me. Father was a mentor to him, so I've met him a couple of times. He was always a shining example of what a knight should be. He had been training since he was very young and quickly became one of the most powerful knights of the land. I know the Imperial household is a bit much to be a part of, but I don't think he would abandon his station, nor his family all of a sudden. It's rather suspicious to me. I wouldn't put it past Princess Cyrene to have done something. But that's just a theory. But anyway, mind if I take a quick look at your book? Scoot over then. Alright. Oh. This is about Manium himself? Okay. Let's see. What is this chapter about then? Oh, okay. Alright, so this is after the fall of Morena then. Okay, I see. No, I'm not bored at all. I'm just thinking about something. Well, my sister Eaya, she has quite the opinion on the gods. She has quite the distaste for, well, Manium and his rule over the living, and how he's played a part in the creation of the undead. I'm not quite sure I like him either. But it's a good thing he's not the patron god of our land. Even if I move to the capital one day, I will not be under Manium's dominion. Like Elaysia, my only goal is to protect the living, not conquer them. Though I'm surprised the Emperor hasn't had a sudden revelation from Manium to capture more of Claris and Atticus yet. It sure does seem like Targathon has already. That god simply loves chaos, if nothing else. But whatever. It sort of makes me feel a bit ill when I speak of them. Eaya's told me a number of unsettling things, to be sure. Anyway, it's too nice of a day to speak of things like that. I totally get why you've been here all day, though. It seems like quite the interesting read, even if I don't really like reading myself. Plus, your bed is extra comfy, much comfier than my own. I could honestly just fall asleep here. Maybe a nap wouldn't be too terrible. No, I can't be taking a nap now. Maybe later, but I had plans. We had plans. Huh? Don't you remember? No, you disappoint me. I thought I made it clear. I even told you yesterday evening. Fine. I'll excuse your memory for this moment, but I wanted to have a picnic with you at my favorite little spot on the estate. Do you remember now? Good. I planned this out quite meticulously. Plus, the ground is finally dry. And, well, you haven't had breakfast anyway. And don't think I didn't hear that little grumble earlier. I have it all planned out. You go ahead and get ready. It'll be a little bit of a walk, so wear something comfortable, I'll head down to the kitchen and make sure everything's ready. And don't you start reading again. I know how you'll get all absorbed in the book. Huh? No way! Leave it here. Mr. Maxim would have a fit if you lost his book. Or got it dirty, or just ugh. Anyway, I'll meet you downstairs by the back door. In, let's say an hour or so? Alrighty. See you then. There you are. Perfectly on time and everything. You look quite nice and ready for a picnic. Oh, this is a different dress indeed. Auntie Cara made me get changed. No white clothing if you're going to be frolicking about in the woods. So, dark blue it is. This color does suit me, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased with this dress, honestly. I don't think I'm too keen on wearing light-colored clothing anyhow. They just don't look good on me. Well, that's rather nice of you to say. Anyway, would you mind carrying this sheet? No, I'm perfectly fine carrying the basket. I've got to get my arm strength up if I'm gonna be wielding a heavy sword. And besides that, the basket isn't really too heavy. Alright, come on, let's go. Yeah, the spring air is quite lovely, is it not? Uncle despises it a little since he tends to sneeze a whole ton during the season. But it's been a bit better, though, since it's been raining so much. I'm happy, though, that we're back to sunny weather. Perfect for our little picnic. Oh, yes. I'll be taking you to my favorite place on the estate. Well, we've grown so close over the last few months, and so I wanted to show you. Well, there's this lovely creek that runs through the backwoods. It's where the hunting grounds are, but worry not. We're not due for a hunt anytime soon. But in the afternoon, light from the setting sun filters through the trees and just hits the water and surrounding land in such a way I can't say it's anything but breathtaking. But you have to see it for yourself. The creek runs around the estate and is connected to a larger river that borders Elaysia. It's quite large. It runs all the way down from Mount Campy. You can't quite easily cross it, no. The rivers are often used for cargo transport down Pencos, but I wouldn't say there's much use of the river for ordinary folk. The rivers are so large they were once used as barriers for protection against the other gods for a time before they were all united. Which reminds me. You know, I've always wondered how you ended up here. Do you remember at all? How you ended up at the lake? That's near the front of the estate, and there's no way you could have made it across the river, unless there was help, but that means you must have come from the direction of either Atticus or the capital. Well, perhaps someday you will remember, but thank goodness Auntie and Uncle allowed you to stay here for such a long time, and as an esteemed guest as well. I hope that the past few months here have been pleasant for you. I'm very glad to have you around. Indeed, my cousins are rather fun and all, but I think I find you very, very interesting. Why? Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had much chance to interact with anyone apart from the family. Though, I mean, I have occasional tea parties with the other ladies of the realm, but it's nowhere near as fun as when I'm with you. I feel relaxed with you, even if I am constantly worried about your well-being. Which, just to check in with you again, how are you feeling? I hope this isn't too far of a walk for you. It's only a little further before we reach the creek. Is that so? Alright then, that's good. I know the doctors have said that you've been healthy and good for a while now, but I can't help but be worried for your health. So, no aches or pains, right? Good. I'm very glad to hear that. I just want to check in every so often. I hope it doesn't annoy you. Well, of course I care. Why wouldn't I? You're being absolutely silly. I know that we haven't known each other for a long time or anything, but you're my friend and my guest, and I want you to be happy and healthy and just, living life the way you deserve to be. When we first found you, it was pretty evident you hadn't been living a happy life. You were so frail and worn out. But it's perfectly normal to care. Look at the rest of us here. My uncle, aunt, cousin, the staff, they absolutely adore you and want you to be happy. Just like me. You've got to believe me here. Hey, look, stick out your pinky for me? We're gonna make a promise, silly. Have you never done this before? Okay, here. Look, I will always do everything in my power to protect you. Now, even as a normal girl, and even when I am a knight, my loyalty is to you. First and foremost, I will stand by you. Pinky promise. Hey, are you okay? I didn't mean to upset you or anything. I mean it, from the bottom of my heart. You mean a whole lot to me, so trust me when I say that I'll protect you. I won't ever let anyone hurt you again. So come on. Give me your hand. You're okay. You'll be okay. I promise. Whenever I was scared or sad, my brother or my father would take my hand and give them a big squeeze so I would know that I wasn't alone and that they were with me. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm right here with you. I know these past few months have been a lot to adjust to, but I hope that with time, this will become normal for you. Just living carefree, studying, reading, eating, and being happy. Eventually. But we don't have to have the picnic anymore. We can turn back around, head home, and just spend some time in the library if you want to. It's no problem at all. You sure? You're perfectly okay with continuing. Alright. Well, just let me know how you feel, okay? We can turn back whenever you want. It'll probably only be a few more minutes of walking or so. Nothing big. The area around here gets a tad rocky, so watch your step, okay? Oh, actually, there's a small series of caves here. I can show you if you'd like. Yeah, brother and I explored this place from top to bottom when we first moved here, and I accidentally tumbled into the entrance. For a few moments, brother couldn't even find me. It's quite hidden away. Perhaps a little too hidden away. You could miss your step and just fall in, so don't do that. Just hold on, okay? It should be somewhere around here, actually. No, it wasn't very long at all. Probably as long as, well, the residence is from one end to another. It's not horrifyingly deep either, but There's a very small pool of water at the end of it. But after this little area, we should see a little bit of clearing, and then you'll be able to see the creek running right across. Oh? Well, if you wanted to see the larger river, you'd have to wade across the creek, which isn't very easy. And then you'd have to walk for a while over some farmland. But no one ever does that. There's a route that's taken around to the front of the estate. Well, I've lived here for at least 5 or 6 years now, so I know this place pretty top to bottom. I've been following my father's advice. He always told me to learn my surroundings properly. So every weekend I spend a little bit of time out here. When it's not hunting season, of course. I do talk about him quite often, don't I? I simply have many fond memories of him, is all. He taught me everything that he could before he passed. And despite being a wonderful teacher, probably wasn't enough. You can certainly teach people skills, but unless they're using them, it's kind of useless. I don't have enough experience yet, but I've certainly tried my best to do little things here and there to improve my hunting skills. You probably find this really boring to listen to. I apologize. Here's something more interesting, though. This is the cave I was talking about. See, you wouldn't have seen it if I didn't point it out. Yeah, it's quite dark indeed. A bit of fire does the trick usually. We left a torch in here so we could light it later. We can explore sometime later if you'd like. Maybe next week? Yeah, that could be fun. Okay, well, let's get a move on though. We're nearly there now. It was a tiny bit out of the way, but it wasn't too bad, I don't think. The hunting grounds are quite large, aren't they? We haven't even walked the length of it. But I honestly don't mind the giant estate too. It's kind of cool. No, there shouldn't be anyone out here. The groundskeeper, I think you should have met him, Mr. Gray. He usually sweeps through twice a day just to make sure it's all in order and that the border's secure. But otherwise, there shouldn't be anyone else out here. Oh, the border is protected by Elaysia's blessing. None can pass through beyond the river unless they are also of blood or with a sigil of permission. Or, I suppose, if they're talented enough with magic. Most of the people that are living within the farmlands have been given a sigil. But, hey, look, here we are. Isn't it just the loveliest thing? It's simply so peaceful here. Wasn't it worth it for this view alone? Come help me set down the sheets. Thanks. So, I, brought some sandwiches for lunch, and I have some tea, too. I hope this will be alright. There's a few biscuits and whatnot as well. Oh? No, it wasn't Wes. And, well, it's a bit of a secret, but Wes has been teaching me how to make food. I know that this is all quite simple, but hopefully it tastes really good. I wasn't good at all in the beginning, but I've become so much better. Serenity tends to make fun of me because I used to be so bad. I couldn't even cook scrambled eggs or an omelet properly. Nowadays, I'm not so bad, though. It'll be a good skill to have. Cooking will be pretty useful at some point, I bet. There's a whole load of things I've got to learn before I set off. Oh, in about 2 years. But Auntie is quite opposed to me leaving at all. But I simply don't see any other path for me to take. It's the only one that makes sense to me. But, I mean, I still have time to change my mind if I want to, but I don't think that'll be happening. And now with my debut coming up, the clock's ticking down for me. I'll be another year older. That does remind me. My brother sent a letter a few days ago, and he's gonna try and attend my debut if he can find some time. He had his official debut at the age of 16 too, so I'll be following suit. Lord, that was years ago though. Hoping I'll have some familiar faces there. No, I don't seem particularly excited for it, do I? It'll certainly be a new experience, if nothing else. I know Auntie has been absolutely over the moon about it, and I've been taking so many lessons from etiquette to dancing. I think I'd be fit to be a princess consort by the time this is all over. Ugh, my feet are absolutely sore all the time. We've got more dance lessons tomorrow, but thank goodness you'll be my partner for most of the dance. You're quite good at it. They always praise how powerful and graceful your movements are, while I'm an absolute mess. Oh, you're being far, far too kind. My skills are an absolute disgrace. But I'll get there, hopefully, in 2 months or so. If I put effort into it, I'll eventually get some of it, at least. You're right. I'll have to be quick on my feet on the battlefield, so I'll need to master the skill of dance. Maybe. Perhaps. Huh? Wait, what? Here? Right now? But we just walked for ages. Are you sure? Your legs are fine? Okay. A little more practice wouldn't hurt. Since you'll be a partner for the majority of dances anyhow. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Hand there. And here. It is a tad difficult to talk while dancing, really. Well, I'm sure my aunt intends to make my debut one that will showcase my beauty, as she calls it, to the available bachelors of the realm. No, I have no intention of marriage till I am, well into my career. At some point, I'm sure she'll point Lord Flectere of O'Keegan to dance with me. His father's looking for a suitable match, and I happen to be one of the right pedigree and age. Ugh, it honestly makes me a tad nauseous, if nothing else. If I could, I would just dance with you all night. Oh? Is that so? Well, I see. I think it would be much more enjoyable if you didn't let me out of your sight. I wouldn't want to disappoint Greater Lord Flectere, but I suppose I might just have to. Besides, who else is such a skilled dancer? Certainly, Lord Flectere has nowhere near your talent for this art. You're so silly. Can you imagine a conversation with him? Ugh, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I might rather stay quiet, honestly. Oh, greetings, my lord. Indeed, it is my greatest pleasure to dance with such a dignified gentleman. Oh, certainly not. There is not an ounce of sarcasm at all, my lord. Wait, I don't think this is part of the dance. Wait, let me down. doubt this would be allowed, my lord. What would people think about us? No, I suppose I wouldn't care much either. Book boy? I think you can let me down now. Maybe. Thanks. Did you have fun? Me too. I can't wait to actually dance with you. Although you might have to avoid picking me up and spinning me around. But I did like that part, though. Did you feel that? Oh, God, it's raining again? How? There wasn't a cloud in the sky. Come on, let's seek some shelter. It smells like a storm. Huh? No, it seemed like perfectly good weather a minute ago. How did that even happen? Hurry! We'll get soaked. Let's go to the cave. We can wait out the storm for a little bit. Here, come on. I am out of breath. Well, looks like my dress is very heavy and full of water. Auntie is not gonna appreciate that. Well, are you alright? I'm glad we both got in here before it became way too heavy. I wonder how the storm even rolled in on us like that. Weird. I didn't even sense it coming. No, I mean, I'm a little cold, but I'll be fine. Let me just, light this torch. Okay. Hold on. Just a little bit of power this time, Eaera. Just need a bit of a spark. Phew. Good. I got that under control now, at least. Huh? Oh, it is blue. A bit weird, isn't it? I don't really know why the flames are like that, but, come a little closer. You can warm up a tiny bit. Yeah, feels good. Hopefully, the storm won't last for too long. I'll be fine. It's no problem. A little bit of rain won't do anything to me. Do you feel okay? That's good. No, it's not the cold. I just feel a little uneasy. Something doesn't feel right. Like the air is unbalanced. I'm not sure. Hold. Do you hear that? Footsteps. No. There's no way it's the groundskeeper. It's not Tom. Let me extinguish this. Something's not right. Down against the wall. Now. They're coming closer. I'm gonna be sick. Sorry. I must seem rather pathetic right now. Are you okay? You're shaking too. Yeah, we're here together. I'm here. You're right here. I think they've moved past. No, I have no idea. I've never felt such a presence before. It's giving me the shivers a little. Maybe I'm just cold, though. Maybe whoever that was caused the rain. It was so sudden and unnatural. Do you recognize it? Is this feeling familiar to you? No. Are you sure? You just... Okay. Alright. I just think that we should wait out the rain. They may have been using it as cover while they traveled. It reminded me a little of something. When I was little and Eaera had just moved into her home, someone came looking for her. But instead of a simple rainstorm, they burnt the forest instead. Dark clouds rolled in and a sudden strike and fire. It's probably not the same person, but it's eerily reminiscent of it. If it is the same person, same type of magic, the rain might go away any second now. I've got to tell Uncle once we make it back home. Hey. Hi, Mom. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I just wanted to spend a nice afternoon with one another. I'm sorry. You could have been hurt again. I know. I couldn't have predicted it, but I feel a little guilty, nonetheless. But as long as you're okay. We'll both be okay. We have much more to do, the both of us. I think the rain is stopping. We might be able to move now. Let's hurry back. I've had enough of this. Bookboy. Good. I caught you before bed. Are you doing okay now? That's good. I think I'm still a little shaken up by everything, but I'll be okay. Don't worry. I can tell that you're absolutely shattered. You should go to bed. Oh, right. I told Uncle about everything, and he sent a few guards to look. It seems that someone breached the barrier whilst he was having guests over, but he says it was probably their guards roaming the area, but I don't really buy it. No. But I don't really have anything else to go off, and Uncle said he would keep looking into it for us. Honestly, he seemed a little disturbed by it himself. He said we should be okay, but he wants us to stay inside for a few days to make sure absolutely everything is secure. Yeah. It'll be fine. I hope. Anyway, thanks for calming me down out there. I really appreciated it. Yeah. We can protect each other. You're right here. And I'm right here. Right here with you. Well, I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll see you in the morning. I'll knock if I need you. You knock as well, alright? I'll be going now. Sweet dreams. Yes, I am well and decent. Yes, I'm good. Just come in already. Well, good morning to you too. Wait, are those... You got me flowers? How sweet of you. Oh, you didn't need to get me anything. A congratulations from you was enough. Well, thank you. You even got me my favorites. How did you know I love hydrangeas and myosotis? Ah, you saw me then. My little garden. I didn't think you would notice. I've always loved their blue color. It's a peaceful one. The meaning behind the flowers are quite wonderful too. Did you know of the meanings when you made me this bouquet? Okay, well, myosotis are a legendary flower. They symbolize love, respect, fidelity, and faithfulness. Hydrangeas have many meanings as well. Actually, did you know that the color of the flower itself changes depending on the soil? I think that's pretty cool. They can symbolize heartfelt emotions like deep love, passion, or gratitude. Blue ones in particular are often seen as an apology or remorse. Though I don't think you're apologizing for anything. Unless you did something and you didn't tell me. They're quite lovely though. Thank you. I love them. Really. Am I smiling too much? Well, it's just... It really made me happy and... Well, I'm only a tad excited. Okay. Maybe a little more than just a tad. I'm quite a bit, giddy, perhaps. I didn't think I would look so forward to this day either, if I'm being completely honest. It's rather fun though, I'd say. I like these weird gaudy traditions, and it's kind of new to me. As lame as they might be. You're just as lame as I, though. But I like that about you. I mean, look at you. You're all dressed up, too. Did Uncle get to you? That's what I thought. Your hair is all slicked back and funny. Hey, I mean, not like funny. You look good. It's just unusual to see you like this. Well, you know, ruffled up, kinda messy. Doesn't look like you washed your hair in a couple days because you've been way into reading a book. You look good. Proper. It suits you to be all, I don't know, dressed up in this fanciful garb. I mean it. You look, handsome? I didn't mean to put a question mark at the end of it. I don't always give compliments, and I feel a bit awkward doing so. You are, though. Handsome, I mean. Really, why would I lie to you? I don't lie. You know that. Exactly. Oh? I'm sure you can tell, but Auntie got to me. She was just here a few moments ago before you arrived. Yes, you know, always fussing over me, making sure every single detail is right. You should have seen her in the ballroom yesterday. She picked apart all the flower arrangements and did them all over again. She didn't like the pattern or something silly. I don't know. She's been very excited, though. I knew that she was going to take a lot of time to make everything perfect, but geez. I've been stuck in this room the entire morning, from sunrise till now. I know, poor me, right? But seriously, I've had to put on and take off this dress so many times now. Huh? Well, firstly, she thought I had too much volume in my skirts. And then she took out some petticoats, and then there were too little, and then too much, and then the gloves were all wrong, and my jewelry didn't match well enough. I don't know. It was a whole lot. Anyway, here I am now, with skirts finally fluffy and full enough. Though, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I can fit through that door at this point. I could have lost one of the many layers, but I'm not gonna undress again. Too much of a hassle. Yeah, you might need to give me a big old shove out the door. Well, you should be able to now. You've put on a bit of muscle from all that training, haven't you? I mean, compared to what you looked like even a few months ago, no one would be able to recognize you if they haven't seen you in ages. But I've been right here, so I think I know what you look like pretty well. Well, you don't exactly compare to Lord Atlas, but maybe if you give it, I don't know, 100 years or so, maybe you can match up to his physique. I'm just kidding. I meant 50. Sorry, I'll stop. It's just too easy to tease you. Oh, well, not too much longer before the actual ceremony, and then we'll have the dance in the evening and whatever else that comes after. I hope that I'll just look as pretty and neat. It's unlikely, but it's gonna be a long, long day, and I don't know, it might get hectic. All of this won't last, and I'll just be me again. What? Oh, gosh. You're being silly, too. But thank you. I am a little pretty, aren't I? Oh, and see? I'm even wearing light colors. Well, when we were choosing the fabrics, they gave me an option between dark blue and light blue, and well, you told me that I looked good in light colors, so I chose that one, and I guess you're right. I do like the dress. Apparently the style is pretty popular in the capital. It's been gaining traction since Lady Celeste wore it at a party. Actually, I think she'll be here. I don't know if Princess Dawn will be here, but they usually move in a pair. I'd be surprised if they didn't go together. Oh, the guest list? Well, the ceremony should be a lot smaller than the ball. Yes. Small doesn't mean 15 or so people. All of the houses are invited, so it will more likely be 50 people in total. I know a few extended family members will be there, like Consort Amaya or Prince Consort Baldric. A few Imperial ministers will be there as well. And as for the celebration, I'm not really sure. Auntie took care of that for the most part. Probably a few other members of the Imperial family. And I don't know. The other nobles, I suppose. Hopefully Lord Flectere won't be there, but I'll have you, so hopefully he'll stay away. But I won't be too bothered with meeting them, really. A brother will be there too, so I will definitely spend some time with him. It's been ages since I've last seen him, so I'm sure he'll be quite surprised by how much I've changed. I was pretty tiny when he left for the capital. Huh? Oh, come on. I've grown plenty in these few months alone. I'll be nearly your height in a matter of months. Just you watch. I'm gonna be annoyed if I stay at this height forever, but whatever. It is what it is. Whatever the gods decide, I shall take with gratitude. I mean, I'm happy to have even reached my debut day. And I'm happy to have met you. Thank you again for agreeing to escort me. You didn't have to be my partner. I could have asked one of my cousins to do it. I mean, they would have whined my ear off, but, you know. Thank you. You're really nice. I mean, I really don't know what I'd do without you. I give you too little praise. What are you talking about? It's true. You're my rock. You keep me grounded when I get, well, you know, all wound up. Like when we were in that cave. If I was alone when that happened, well, I would have been scared out of my wits. But you helped to keep me calm. Well, even so, a simple embrace was all I needed, and you gave me that. You really do have a sort of calming aura. It's like you exude tranquility. Maybe I am buttering you up a little now. You're really the best, though, book boy. No, you. I'm happy. Really, really happy where I am now. Ugh, don't pinch my cheeks. Get away. What are you, my aunt? Huh? Oh, another gift. I told you, the flowers were enough. You didn't need to get me anything in the first place. Okay, I'll close my eyes. Fine. I promise I'm not peeking. Swear it. My hand? Okay. What are you doing with my glove? Are you done now? Can I open my eyes? A ring? Are you... It's gorgeous. Thank you, but where did you even get this thing from? Oh. It's from your home? Are you sure? I mean, this must be quite important if you brought it in your bag with you. It really is a lovely gift. Does it? I think it looks quite nice on my hand as well. I'll make sure to keep it safe. Thank you. It will be my prized possession. Of course. But why did you give me a ring? Okay. A symbol of our bond and oath? You really are quite the poetic boy, aren't you? Perhaps you cherish this friendship of ours more than you let on. Oh, I know you like me. And yes, I like you too. Very much. Hey, come here. Well, for a hug, of course. Huh? What, are you shy all of a sudden? Oh, right. It won't mess up my dress. Don't worry. Oh, you know me. I can never get enough of your hugs. Did you want to let me go? Yeah. You like my hugs too? Good. No. It's gonna be a busy, busy day today. Yeah. I think I'll have to sneak away for a little nap later in a private parlor. You could sneak away with me if you'd like. You should meet me before the ball starts. That's fine. Auntie would rather have me rest and be fully awake for the dances rather than having to drag me around. A little bit of beauty sleep. It doesn't start till after the sun is set, so plenty of time. I'm not sure if the dress is going to survive till then, but I don't think the ceremony will be too strenuous. See? A little hug didn't do anything to it. Though, as long as I'm not running about and sparring, I think my dress will be spared. Hopefully your hair will stay perfect throughout the day too, or else Uncle might have something to say. Honestly though, I think you could change your hair in any sort of way and you'd still be a looker. You're right. If you sported Lord Sophia's hair, I might change my mind. I think he'd look better bald too, but he keeps on holding to like 3 pieces of hair on the top of his head. Anyway, I should finish my preparations for the ceremony, and you should probably find Uncle again. I won't mess up my speech. Ugh, I hope I don't anyway. Thank you. I know. I'm good at this kind of thing. Alright, now be on your way before you ruin my dress. I'll see you there. I can do this. It's just a small, tiny little speech. This will be easy peasy. Easy peasy. Much easier than training or anything else I've done. I mean, there's only like 50 people out there. Why did it have to be so many people? Okay. It's literally like a 10-minute ceremony. It isn't hard, Eara. Come on. Oh! What are you doing back here? Wait, what? Don't tell me they could see me pacing around back here. Oh. Okay, well, that's good. I'm fine. It's okay, it's just... I'm a little freaked out back here, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, like, I very easily talk to my neighbors in the old village and people around the market and whatever, but I'm going to be out there making an embarrassment of myself in front of the top-ranked people in this empire. That is truly terrifying. Right. I'll just focus on you. Maybe that will help. But don't try and make me laugh or anything during my speech, though. Please, promise me. Okay, I'll be good. Right. I'm gonna make the best speech ever. Okay. One more hug before you go. Yeah. I'm good. I'm alright. Now make your way back out. The ceremony's gonna start soon.
I here present unto you all the Lady Eaera Elaysia, daughter of Sir Val and Lady Milia Elaysia, adopted under the gracious hands of Duke Podrick. What is given today is for the gain of all. Under the eyes of the gods, as many have done before, will you do the same as they have done? Are you, Lady Eaera, willing to take the oaths I shall lay before you?
I am willing.
As a new noble lady of the grand household of Elaysia, will you promise to serve your household and those who occupy this land beneath your feet?
I promise.
Will you use your gifts and wealth to the benefit of your people?
I will.
Do you accept the judgment of the gods above?
I do.
Shall you stay loyal to the Empire and to the land of Penkos?
With all my heart, I promise I shall. I will take all these oaths and uphold what I have said today.
To remind us all of our duties, I shall read to you the oracle of our goddess. Submit yourself unto the land, and I shall look upon your faces and hearts. I shall provide to you the shields and spears you require. Defend your pride and honour, my blood of blood. All that you do shall not be in vain. Balance shall be kept and the scales reset. Do not forget in your hearts that I look over you, so long as you submit your loyalty to the land of Elaysia, to that of my mother's land of Penkos and Morena. Hold strong, show no fear. Please hear our prayers and cries, O Goddess Elaysia. Direct and support your blood of blood, Lady Eaera. May she use your power for good and bless those who carry your goodwill. Bow before the shield of Elaysia and present yourself to the people of her blood and the gods themselves.
Welcome, sirs and madams of the noble courts and beyond. I implore those of you who have witnessed my debut ceremony today to take the words of Our Lady Elaysia to heart. I will as well. It has been a long time since I have been reminded of the words that were said to me a few years back after the tragic loss of my father. Hold strong. Show no fear. After his death, any news of the blights and shroud gave me shivers. To lose not just one but two parents to the silt of death. But I held those words deep in my heart. I held strong. I moved forward. I held swords, spears, and shields. I practiced the gifts passed on to me. I showed no fear. And so, I present myself to the gracious lords and ladies of the vast empire of Penkos. No longer little Eaera, but now a proud member of the grand household of Elaysia. I am Lady Eaera Elaysia. I shall fight in the armies and protect this land just as my father did and just as my brother does. Just as I have promised before you. I shall remain loyal to this land, submit to it. I shall serve this household and never bring it shame. I shall use my wealth, powers, and gifts to support the people that keep the land working. I will accept the judgment of the gods. I trust in their wisdom. I shall serve you as a faithful follower, Goddess Elaysia.
Be dignified, Be faithful, be courageous, young lady. Let Elaysia's strength and grace shine upon you, and happy debut.
Where is he? I've been waiting for him forever after the ceremony. Maybe he'll show up in like 3 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I guess not. Okay. One more time. 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Oh, I give up. Maybe I should just go ahead and take my nap instead. I'm just so bored. What could be taking so long? Oh. I do need my beauty sleep. Oh. It's you. Well, finally. Anyway, where have you been? I was waiting forever for you. Like, I've been here for at least 30 minutes. Where were you, huh? Oh. Did Uncle really drag you away to do that? I don't know why you need to greet people. You'll see them at the ball later. Fine, fine. At least you're here now. I accept your apology. You do look rather ruffled up, though. What were they doing to you? Kicking you around on the floor? Jeez. I hope I don't get hugged by them then. Here, let me fix your hair a little bit. There. Perfect. I wish I could fix my hair that easy. Once it gets into a mess, it stays a mess. So, did you meet anyone interesting? Ah, I see. I guess it is a little bit exciting to see the Imperial family members up close, but I've seen quite a few of them after they sent condolences about both my parents. Quite kind of them to visit, to be honest. I wasn't sure if any of them would be happy to visit me at all. I doubted they had that time of day. I mean, Father wasn't a duke when he passed, after all. Just another knight of the realm. Many consorts came to visit when my mother died, like my great-aunt Amaya or my cousin Arista. Oh, great-aunt Amaya was my paternal grandmother's brother's wife's sister, if that makes any sense. They're quite a bit older than me, indeed. It's quite funny to see my cousin already having a family when I'm just starting my life. Strangely, though, how they've both made it into the Imperial family. I hope I get to serve the Imperial family, but perhaps not as a wife. It's not quite my ideal anyhow. Being a wife isn't out of the picture. Being a homemaker is as difficult and noble as any other pursuit. I simply don't want to settle into that kind of role yet, as much as my aunt wishes for me to do so. I want to pursue knighthood and make my father and my mother and brother proud. Maybe someday I'll start a family of my own, but for the next few years, they're for me and me alone. What about you? interested in becoming a husband and father? Well, perhaps it's too soon to tell, but I don't think you'd be a terrible father, no. You're kind and intelligent and, well, a bit goofy, so you'd be able to make your child laugh at least. What? You are rather strange sometimes, whether you mean it or not, and it's funny. But I suppose you must have many plans for the future as well. Suppose we're the same then. My dreams are pretty important to me too. I want to accomplish my goals and then I can focus on other things. My future is pretty clear-cut though. Well, if everything goes right anyway. I'll become a squire and then be an apprentice under Targathon's banner. And then I'll spend the next few years in service on whatever border is needed of me, and then in the Targathon Gorge, as all soldiers do. Perhaps the Shroud as well. Then, once I have gained enough experience and credit to my name, I'll move to the capital, just like my brother. I can't wait to introduce you to him. He's just amazing. He's never let anything stop him, and now he's a brave knight in the capital. You know, that's kind of how my mother and father met. He was a young and dashing duke. Well, that's what my mother said anyhow. He was also quite a well-known knight that had survived the terror of the Shroud. He came out fairly unscathed, though he did have a large gash on his back after a rough battle. He was in the capital to be awarded some sort of medal and was soon to transfer as captain to guard one of the younger princes. My mother was new to the capital. She was sent there to study and experience the riches and culture there as a young lady. Of course, though, since she was more from the countryside, she had been a bit fussy about the entire thing, running off whenever she could down cobbled streets. My father said my rambunctiousness came from her. I would like to think he's right. My brother is a bit more stoic, serious even, like my father. But apparently she had been on a little trip alone down the docks, and, well, she found herself in a bit of trouble. Some thieves had come to rob her in broad daylight, of all things. Mother wouldn't simply stand down, so she put up her fists. Her yelling caught the ear of my father, who had been procrastinating his arrival to the imperial palace, and ran to her aid. But by the time he had managed to swing his sword even once, she had them spinning around in the air, making them sick on themselves. They'd managed to run into each other a few more times while they stayed in the capital. Apparently, they would have stayed permanently, but father found being a knight there was actually rather tiring. Oh, well, yes. I too want to be in the capital. It is the end-all be-all of the knights. Even if my father didn't enjoy it in the end, perhaps I will. And there's no greater honor than to protect the imperial family. They are the children of blessed Manium. So I would be rather pleased with myself if I can manage to make it to that sort of level. Well, I believe my father simply hated the pageantry of everything. It wasn't simple anymore, especially since he was Duke of Elaysia, and it became much more annoying. And although he had a steward, he felt far too disconnected from his land, so both my mother and father retired to, well, here, in Elaysia. Father soon after relinquished his title of Duke to my, well, uncle. But with all the work he had done as Duke in that short amount of time, he had won the favor of the people around him. Oh, yes. Even after his death, he's still quite beloved around here. Well, he was a kind man of the people. He enjoyed tilling the fields with them, hunting to bring something to the table of everyone. It was like we were all one big family, not simply a subject and their lord. And we could not we could not survive without each other after all. I am more well known as Val's daughter rather than Lady Eaera. Even now, I still spend quite a bit of time there when it becomes winter. I help during the hunts. I am a bit of a tracker. I'm glad to do it. It's become sort of a tradition for me anyway. I must do what my father has done before me. I'm quite the proud daughter, indeed. He is everything that Elaysia embodies, and I wish to be that too. Well, our land is protected by our goddess, Elaysia. She is representative of the shield. She protects our people. Her strength gives us resilience, stability, and tradition. Steadfast in what we do, and therefore I wish to be very much like my father. He was righteous and fair, kind and generous as well. He was a wonderful knight, and a wonderful person. So that's what I strive for. This debut brings me closer and closer now to that dream. And perhaps you'll be glad for me to finally leave you be. I can be rather obnoxious, wouldn't you say? Please, you needn't tell me the whole truth. I know. I am rather loud and boisterous at times, aren't I? Well, perhaps I'll be gone once I'm whipped into shape once I become a squire. Hopefully not too much of me will be gone by the time I'm done, but... Well, I'm glad that you say that. I quite enjoy your personality as well, and your company too. And I'm glad that you could finally join me in the parlor. I needed a little break from all the fuss that was going on today. Yeah, I too thought the ceremony went well. Much quicker than I thought it would. Which I was rather thankful for, honestly. I couldn't imagine having to sit with perfect posture and pretty smiles for over an hour or more. And, well, thank you for checking up on me, too. I'm really grateful for you. Well, of course, it made me feel so much better after you spoke to me. You gave me the confidence boost I needed, I think. You're the absolute best. I just really don't know what I'd do without you. I'm just an absolute mess at times, and you know it. I just really like all the worries just wash away. Have you thought about becoming a healer in the future? Because you have a knack for making people feel rather comfortable. So comfortable, in fact, I might fall asleep. How much time until the dance begins? We must be there for our first. If I miss it, Aunt would set me on fire. Will you really? But what if you fall asleep too? Fine. I will trust you. And what will you do in the meantime? Oh, of course you've brought a little pocketbook with you. Fine, fine. Read away. A little catnap will do then. Let me just... Make sure you wake me up in time. Promise? Promise. boy. Sorry. Did I scare you? My bad. I I guess this tall grass is surprisingly good cover. Noted. I thought you were never going to show up. I've just been waiting out here for you for ages. I suppose that reaction makes up for the wait. Gave me a good laugh. Honestly, you should have seen your face. Okay, I'll stop laughing. Okay. I needed that. Were you finalizing things for school? Guess there's a lot more to do than I thought there would be. I bet you're pretty pleased with yourself for getting into a fancy little academy, aren't you? How did that letter go again? We are so ever pleased to accept you as a student of blah blah school. There are many things to do in preparation for your arrival. Please pack up a few fancy bow ties in your suitcase for your uniform. There will be a first-year celebration, so be sure to attend these mandatory lessons in the art of dance. Honestly, what does that have anything to do with prepping for school? What are you going to be learning the entire time? How to celebrate? Okay, I know there was a lot more to the letter, but it was basically the main points they made. Other than the book gathering and the pre-tests you've got to do. Okay, and that too. No wonder you're so busy nowadays. I hope you enjoy it, though. It sounds like it'll be a whole lot more pleasant than whatever I'll be up to, certainly. Yeah. I don't think it will be very easy here on out. Well, I get the gist of what will be happening. I had one of the recruiters visit me. I don't think you were here that day, but I'll obviously be headed to Azure to a training camp for a few months, learning the basics on top of what I already know. Yeah, everything military is pretty much based in Targathon. Eventually, though, we do return to our original towns to serve if we'd like. But training is all centered in Targathon. I wish it wasn't necessarily so. At least diversify a little bit. I know the main threat is at Targathon, but it would be useful to have training centers in other places. At least more central. Maybe one to the west. But I suppose learning on the border is the best thing. But sometime after the training is over, I'll be made a squire for the time being. Until it's time to transfer over to the border. Yeah, everyone has to serve on the border for at least a year or two. Yep, we'll be given a company to work with. And sometime after that, you're given inland duty, manning an observation tower, living at a base for a year. After you can be transferred out, or to the Imperial Guard for another few years till your contract is up, or whenever you want to renew. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It would still obviously be an honor. But I also want to know what it was like for my father. He spent so many years out in the silt. I want to know what it was like for him. Live up to his legacy. I'll see how it'll go. if I can really tough it out. Thanks for the confidence boost. But really, I've trained every single day here since I was little. I've done as much as I can, I think. But I can be confident in my skills as much as I want to be, but I won't really know what it will be like until I get there, into the thick of it. Yes, I have to go, Taryn. It's my dream, after all. Just like how being a bigwig scholar is yours. You know, I wish we could have spent more time together. I feel like we've hardly seen each other lately. It's certainly been busy for the both of us. But I've been feeling kinda lonely. Well, of course. Don't tell me you didn't miss me either. You're my closest and dearest friend, so of course I did. What am I gonna do without you? At least there's lots to keep us busy in between. To think. It'll be our first time really apart since we met. Isn't it funny how much time has passed already? You were just a runt when I first found you hiding in those bushes. Imagine if I never did. Maybe you would have escaped off the grounds, or even... Well, I wouldn't like to imagine whatever outcome there might have been. But look at you now. Boy mage extraordinaire and scholar. You've gotten a lot healthier in the past few years as well, which, thank goodness. You're all skin and bones when you first arrived. And I've certainly changed a lot too. So much more control and precision. I can fully use my power now. Okay, well, maybe. I don't really want to accidentally blow up a building if I try too hard. Either way, Miss Tilly is quite pleased with me. But most of the credit must be given to you, of course. Please, you were up with me for nights on end till we were giggling deliriously about runes. It is kind, though, for you to think that I have a talent in magic. Well, there aren't really any schools that focus on the use of magic, are there? If there were, perhaps I'd like to hone my skills even more. But there's hardly any of us around that use magic anyhow to create a school solely for it. We all rely on relatives or tutors. It's a big privilege to have it, but surely there would be so many more advantages if the common folk could use it too. Half of all magic is practical anyway. It could be used for just so many more things. Like light magic. Attunement to light is plenty easy. Aptitude is an entirely different question. If more people could practice and hone their skills, just imagine how many more healers we could have. How many less people would need to suffer for longer periods of time. I wonder if the gods would ever allow for it. But I suppose for now we must make do. Those that are noble, that are kind enough, will give their services. But I certainly know quite a snooty few that would refuse to give up even a second of their time. When I lived with my father, we would give out our services whenever we could. It was our duty, and even after he relinquished his titles, he continued to act for the everyday person. Never on condition, never with greed in mind. Of course, I could only mend small wounds at the time, but still, I did my very best because I wanted to. But I'm sure while I'm out there, I'll be practicing my skills anyhow, even without any formal training. I would assume that my healing skills will be quite coveted while I'm out there. Surely I'll have a teacher. I know. Use too much and I'll suffer. I've got plenty of burns, so I am well aware of the drawbacks. I know, I must conserve my mana, but it is necessary sometimes. The sacrifice. Hey, don't worry, I'll do my best to preserve myself. Tear? I'll be okay. I haven't even left yet, and you're looking at me like I'm a dead woman walking. See? Still warm. Still very alive. Still here. It's okay, you don't have to pull away like that, you know? You're acting like I'm blighted. I don't mind it, I'm just holding your hand. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Does it look like I care about all that? So what if I debuted? No one cares. We're in a field quite far away from the main estate. No servants are gonna peek through the grass and run back to report to my aunt that we're close, and then it's ruining my reputation. You're so silly. We were much closer when I needed to heal you way back then. But if you feel uncomfortable, I'll let go. Tear, enough of the games. Just tell me what you want. Shy, are we? Well, that's quite surprising considering it all. Don't think I haven't noticed. Your hugs go on for much longer than one would think necessary. Whenever your skin grazes mine, it's all too warm. Your stares have been far too longing, too persistent. You've been caught red-handed. You know, I've been staring too. Perhaps you haven't noticed it. I can't help it. You've always been so breathtaking. Shush. I do not aim to flatter you. I'm just telling the truth. I love the soft curve of your cheeks and the harsh edges along your nose, the softness of your hands, the way you stand just a bit taller than me. You are a true friend, and yet so much more than that. I don't know when it started, and as scary as it may be to say, I've had very fond feelings for you. I can feel the blood rushing to my face as I say it now. I must be red as one of those apples you love so much. I would hope perhaps you stare at me for a similar reason. If I am mistaken, I am so terribly sorry, but I couldn't leave without letting you know today. Dare? Hello? Are you that surprised? Honestly, I thought you would have figured me out by now. Yes. Really. I do. What about you? You are impossibly frustrating sometimes. Spit it out. You do? Good. I was hoping so. You think I'd ask for all those hugs all the time for no good reason? It's a little embarrassing to say, but every time I asked, I was simply wanting a small sliver of what I wanted for us, but that I couldn't have. Apologies for being a little selfish. But I was desperate for your touch. I told you your hugs are the best. I never want to let go once you have me in your arms. I should have confessed sooner. Really, I was afraid, of course. If you were to reject me, it would have been incredibly awkward between us. I would have felt so foolish. I would have felt so foolish. I would have asked one of my cousins to dig a hole for me to jump into. At least, if you hadn't returned my feelings today, I could go off with little regret. Now, I don't want to leave you. Especially when we've just begun. I always lose myself a little when I'm around you. Whatever composure or false confidence I have just melts away, and I'm just left bare before you. So, will you hold me for a little while? Yes. Just like this. There. I'm afraid of leaving. It's my dream, and yet I hate to leave all this behind. Everything I know and everyone I love. It'll be years before I see you all again. what if I forget? The rolling hills, the trails, the lake, the village, my uncle's burly laugh, my aunt's constant nagging, my cousin's silly and vulgar jokes, Miss Tilly's advice. You. The way we are now, it'll all have changed. Isn't that scary? You're right. There is good in change, and nothing really ever stays the same, does it? You'll be going through lots of changes, and so will I. But I'll miss you. I'll miss you so terribly. I wish we could just stay here in this field together forever. Aaron, could I make a request? Since it's my special day. I want to know how it feels. How you feel. I never want to forget this moment. Make me never forget it. I'm sure it's you. I want you. It's you who I'll wait for. Promise me you'll write back. Promise me we'll return to one another. Promise you'll be mine. I promise. I promise. I'm yours. Always. To my dear book boy. It's been a hard few weeks. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to your letter in a timely fashion. I'm still learning the ropes here at Azure before I head off to the border. Thanks to the holiday, I've finally gotten the time to write. When I'm off to the border, I'll be able to write more, since I won't be running around doing errands all day. Hopefully less errands, anyway. I'll likely be there in a few months, perhaps at the end of the year. Which reminds me, I hope your preparations for school has been well. I know you'll be off in a few months, and I know that you'll do fantastically. You'll be a powerful mage, no doubt. With your skills, I'm surprised you didn't head off earlier. I hope you'll make your dreams come true. Whatever they might be. I miss you dearly. I know 5 years is a long while. And I look forward to seeing you again. There are many things I couldn't say to you that day I left. And I will have many things to say to you that I cannot convey through ink. Soon, my dearest bookworm. Eaera, your knight. Dearest book boy, how's school? Have you made many friends? I hope you're in good company. I have made a few friends here. We often patrol the border in turns, share food and talk. Though their company is nothing compared to yours. How I wish to hear you ramble on about those runes and emblems and the magic of impulse. You're so incredibly clever with theory. I only wish I could be half as good as you when it comes to magic. All I know is how to blast fire from my fists and swing a sword good. Though I wouldn't discount my smarts either. I think I might be the brightest of my lot. I'll be stuck with these people for the next year or so, but that'll be okay. You know, I still can't recall which school you'll be attending. Wherever it is, I hope it has better weather than here. It's freezing cold, no snow or ice. Sometimes the ground is red hot, and sometimes it feels like nothing at all. I must commend the Targathons for their dedication to protecting us all. I will be heading into the thick of it soon. I'll be stationed at a tower for the next year, a few miles in. I won't be able to send letters very frequently, but I'll still try my best. May the god of dreams look over us. May the maiden god shield us. I miss you, book boy. Keep me in your thoughts. Your knight, Eaera. Dear Bookie, the days here are unbearably cold. There's little to do but look out at the barren land. We have heard of talks, of outposts much farther, struggling. Cursed generals have been working to knock us down, but we won't let it happen. My company will likely be sent further as reinforcement, perhaps in the new year. I don't know how we will fare, but I think we'll be fine. These are the strongest folk I know. I've also been studying more magic, thanks to the notes you've sent me. I would have preferred some new socks and biscuits, but I appreciate it all the same. I think I've genuinely gotten better. You should write a book. I hope you are warm and happy. I'm sure you must be busy with your studies, but I do wish you could send me letters more frequently. I can't believe it's almost been 2 years now. I miss you by my side. Talk soon, book boy. Yours always, Eaera. Dearest Taryn, I miss you. I hate it here. I've lost too many people in the past few weeks. It's like they're picking at us like crows. I keep hearing voices. I can never tell if they're real or not. I've never been so afraid. Is this what my father had to endure? Please write back soon. I know my letters take a long time to send, and for me to receive yours, but it's been too long. I miss you. I need you. I need these next few years to go by quick. Write soon. Yours, Eaera. Dear Taryn, I know you must be incredibly busy, but please, it would bring me a little relief to receive a letter from you again. I'll make it short and sweet. We've moved further up. I don't know if I'll be able to endure this. I'll keep rereading your letters until you send me another. I miss you, Eaera. Tare, I am so grateful for your latest letter, however brief it was. It gives me hope that I will return home soon. In the next 2-ish years at the latest. It sounds like school's been rather eventful. As silly as it sounds, I wish I could be at a stupid ball again soon. Miss you. So much. Eaera. Tear. I have sent so many letters, and yet no replies. I hope you haven't forgotten me. It's my 4th year here now. It's bleak. Most of my original company is gone. Defeated and ground into dust. I couldn't save them all. During one fight, I managed to drag one body back. I don't know if they'll ever wake up again. I tried my best. They'll be sending replacement units soon. I'm still hearing the voices around me. I feel like I'm going insane. It's a voice so familiar, I'm afraid to whisper their name. His body was never found after all. I think it might be him. I don't know if I'll survive to the 5th year. If I'll be honest. But rereading your letters gives me much hope. I look forward to the next time. Eaera. Tear. The days are so very long here. I tend to write multiple letters in one go, since a messenger can only arrive every 2 months. I'm sorry if I'm flooding your inbox with letters. I've nearly lost everyone and everything. Your letters, and the hopes of returning to you, are the only thing I have left. I don't know if I will survive. I've done everything I can to preserve those around me, but more than the wounds that consume us, the fear and the sight of nothingness ahead plagues our minds. But I am a daughter of Elaysia, the maiden. I will prevail. I won't lose anyone else. I hope to be with you soon. Eaera. Tear, have you forsaken me? 2 years of no replies. I wonder if any letters have made it to you at all. A few months ago I received a letter from my brother, so where have you gone? Write soon. Please. Eaera. There. I feel like the world around me is collapsing. I don't think these letters will ever reach anyone. We are sent out to expand the barrier, clear the way. But we were ambushed. I don't know what I'll do anymore. I'm lost. I'll tuck these papers underneath my armor. I'm still hearing things. I can't sleep. I have to keep watch. The others are in bad shape. I have to keep them safe. I have to. At least for the time being. I wish you could come and save me. Eaera. There. I wonder if you think I'm dead.
and that is why you forgot about me. I wish I was. But alas, I am here. It is perhaps day 5. I might be losing my mind. It was him. It was my father. He spoke to me. Perhaps it was all a dream, but he looked undead as any other. Skin like ash. Veins blue. Holes protruding into the skin. But it was him. Clear as day. He spoke to me. I swear it. Perhaps I am dead after all. None of this could be real, right? Darren, it is day 15, I think, after losing my way in the silt. The stars and the sun do not shine through, and as such, I cannot tell what day it truly is. It has all become a blur after that day. Sometimes I feel like I can still hear his voice. It haunts me. I couldn't sleep after that day. I needed to know more. I needed to know why they said that to me. I needed to know what it meant. I don't know how far I've walked. It's cold and I want to go home, but I can't just yet. I ran out of water the other day, and I think I've been walking along the river's edge for a while now. It doesn't flow. It's still, so I suppose it's not a river, but it looks like one. As I walked along, it became clear, and I took the chance and drank it. It tasted fine, and I'm alive, it seems. At least, that's all that really matters after all. The others, they've all died. I honestly don't know what to do anymore. I don't know where I am. I can't even use the stars anymore. It's been so long since I've seen the damned stars. Gods. It once brought me comfort to know that we laid underneath the same stars, even if we are far away from one another. The dark sky does not bring me comfort any longer. The blood, it won't come off. I don't know if I should hide or not. I hear footsteps everywhere, but I cannot see a thing. I am losing my mind. These lonely letters will never reach you, will they? I'll just die out here. Never accomplish a thing. I'll never see my brother. I'll never see you. I'll just be another undead. I'll never see the sun, moon, or stars again. I'll never taste the first snowflake of the season. I'll never don a dress again. I'll never dance with you again. I'll never kiss you again. But I have to find out more. I need to know the answers. I need to know why. I need to know what happened. Even if I never make it out of the silt, I need to know. It's the only way I'll accept death. May the Sixth bless me with a swift one, and may Manium burn for all its sins. Eaera. To my dear Taryn, I know you no longer receive my letters. And yet, I write to you still. This will be my final one, out of the hundreds lost to you. I have done my best to avenge my comrades, yet I am still not satisfied. There are many things I have yet to do, yet to accomplish. Perhaps I will never see you again. After my time in the silt, I only have more questions to answer. They might lead me further into the Shroud, or they might lead me right into the heart of the Northland. Only time will tell. I love you. I always will, like I promised. I just wish you didn't break yours. Goodbye. Your knight, Eaera. Thank you, General. I am still acclimating to being around normal people and not soldiers anymore. So I appreciate the warm welcome and hospitality. See, as you know, it has always been a dream of mine to serve the Imperial family, as my brother and father did before me. And it seems I have much to learn here, as an Imperial Knight, and as part of the Order of Eunomia, as well as a citizen. No, I had no trouble getting here. Those at Azar were sad to see me go after, what was it, 7 years? Well, I felt I had done my part. And I felt a calling to this place. Oh, of course, I am still quite young, but I felt I'd like to explore a little more before my bones go rigid. Freyja has changed a great lot since I last saw her. It is more beautiful than I remember, really. Truly. Improvements made by the prince himself. He must be quite innovative and intelligent. I am incredibly honored to serve such a person. Oh, no. I am not nervous. Nothing seems to shake me anymore. Well, time and the silt will do that to a person, I suppose. But looking over the records you have given me before, I have a few suggestions. I think my first order of business will to be reorganizing the princess's guards. I think that it is of the utmost importance to protect her, especially if she's with child. The imperial family must be rather elated with the soon-to-be birth of a grandchild. I have heard that the princess is quite beautiful. Just rumors passed along. I know they were a big topic at Azar while I was there. Consort Carmilla and her younger sister, the Princess Consort Rixas. Yes. They were just regular rumors about their looks. Apparently they have the most piercing pale blue eyes. But the rumors, well, they were nothing I'd particularly take part in, of course. Hearsay. Oh, I see. Well, I look forward to meeting them both. Thank you, again, General, for your generosity. I will use this position very wisely. Ah, is this it? Very well then. Thank you for escorting me here. Good greetings, Prince Taros. Book boy?